government retirees have honored their side of the contract. They are entitled to the contractual annuities. What specific plan do you have to guarantee retirees the annuities will be preserved and maintained as contracted?
There is no question that we have, the government of the Virgin Islands has a contractual obligation to meet those annuities. Courts have upheld it, and I believe it's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court, which will uphold the fact that you cannot cut the annuity of retirees. Whether that happens or not, our administration is committed to setting aside the funding required to ensure that our retirees' annuity continues uninterrupted and uncut. And we can do that in several ways. One, you have the actuary determine what that amount of money is and you secure it. Two, there are programs, there are some insurance products, for example, that can be used to enhance the funding that would be set aside for those retirees. And we plan to explore those and other programs that can help to increase the amount of funding that would be available in what we set aside for those retirees. We're also very concerned about those retirees, those workers who are about to retire, and those who cannot now retire because the funding that the government has owed them has not been spent. And so the infusion of funding that we talk about, finding that steady stream of revenue to put into our retirement system to begin to reduce the unfunded liability, must also go to ensure that those who don't have the flexibility to change their retirement system because they're about to retire can also be secure in their retirement and receive the annuity that they are owed and that they expect. And beyond that, we can look back to the newer employees, and that's where some of the changes would be made. But there is no question that this government owes the people who have worked, who have taken care of me and my family, as I said in my opening statement. We owe you to value the work that you have done for us and to make sure that your retirement is secure and that the annuity that you receive remains as it is supposed to be. And in the meantime, as we fix the economy, that will also help. But there are also other stressors that you're facing. You're facing the high WAPA bills, you're facing high insurance costs, and the Christensen Atley team is also committed to addressing those other stressors that are making the lives of our retirees and all of the people of the Virgin Islands very difficult.
In working in solving the problem with the government employees' retirement system takes financial acumen. I worked in public finance for 4 or 5 years, practically on behalf of the government of the Virgin Islands, and the audit report speaks for itself. Someone's mic's open. Clearly, floating a pension obligation bond is very important, and just the basics of the math. $50 million in annual debt service will get you a bit over $750 million at a 4% interest rate. You take the proceeds of the pension obligation bond and you put it in an annuity so that it recaptures and earns interest on its interest, and it backdrops to the unfunded liability. You have to take monies that are available in the current investment portfolio and go to the Office of Public Debt and see what opportunities you have to invest in slugs over 60, 90, 120 days to recapture millions of dollars of lost revenue. And that has to do with an articulation of the private investment market. You have to, I'll continue on the next question.
What we have to do is stop making political policies to garnish votes, and then there are situations that we can't handle. And I know it's not popular, but I have to say it. Our GERS is one of the most lucrative in the world. When you look at the operation of a GERS system, industry standard, it takes approximately $3 to $5 million for the administration piece and the investment piece. We're spending $14 million. Now you might say $9 million is not a lot of money, but a penny saved, it's a penny earned. And we really have to look at restructuring some of the benefits that retirees are getting in the system. I know it's not popular, but it has to be said. Because you have people, 2 retirees, they're getting 2 monies and still working for the government. That has to fix. Barnes Quorum team will fix that.
As I mentioned previously, in my legal opinion, the retirees have a vested interest in their retirement annuities, and that cannot be changed. And as your governor, that would remain my position. As I also mentioned, as a lawyer, I will look, and I have looked, but I will continue to look at this GERS statute. There are a number of revisions that I would recommend that be changed. As I mentioned already, the fact that I don't believe GERS should be a bank and making huge amounts of loans. But also I would look to reducing the number on the board, and I would also be looking to have the members of the board be elected by the people, because they are investing the money on behalf of the people. I believe very strongly that the board members should be elected by the people. But we need to look back also at the Inspector General's report from 2011, which heavily criticized our system. And we don't know if the employee irregularities have been corrected. GERS said that they have a new system that has corrected the data irregularities, but we don't know. It has to be periodically checked. Thank you.